Good Monday evening, CDR Nation. Day 21, Diary of an Entrepreneur, closing out the month. I'm making every minute count this week. I hope you are as well. Those of you that know me know that I view the journey of success and the journey of happiness as one and the same. So from time to time as I record, you will hear me switch to talking about the happiness journey as well as the success journey. Saturday and Sunday, we talked about making every minute of the 10,080 minute week count. Like I said, every minute isn't going to be a happiness minute or a successful minute. When we have bad minutes, we have to recover quickly and make the next minutes count. The only way we can do that is with our happiness immune system. See, unhappiness and failures are like an illness. If we don't have a healthy happiness our success immune system, it is hard for us to fight off the unhappy or unsuccessful minutes of our life. So I hope that everyone is having a great week so far, building the happiness immune system against the forces of unhappiness that are trying to wage war against your happiness. I know Gary Vee says if you're living for the weekend, your shit is broke, but some of us, that's all we have right now. So if the weekend brings you joy and you are in a dark place right now, I want you to take a few minutes and visualize the great weekend ahead of you. Can you feel it? Visualize the happy things that you will be doing this weekend and let it float you through the rest of the week. If you are like the other millions of Americans and you are working this weekend, visualize your next day off. Use your next day off as a total recharging of the happiness tank kind of day. Now, I'm not a list kind of guy or a planner, but for this exercise, make an itinerary and try to stick to it. Just like a car, we cannot run at our peak performance without the fuel, and more importantly, the right fuel. The right fuel, yes, the right fuel. As I record this message, it reminds me of a blog post that I wrote several years ago, and I'd like to share it with you. A guy that I used to work with stormed into work one day 10 minutes late. Now, this guy was never late. When we inquired where he had been, he said on a slow trip here. Upon further investigation, we found out that he had filled up his car a couple of miles from his house, which was 45 minutes away from the store. When he got out on the highway, his van immediately started sputtering and running slow with no power. He said his top speed on the highway was 20 miles per hour, and it would hardly pull up the hills. About 2 miles into his trip, he started visualizing filling up his car, and then it hit him. He had put diesel in his van that was only supposed to run on gasoline. Now, I'm not a mechanic, and I'm not mechanically inclined, so I had to ask, does it run on diesel? His reply to me, not very well, brother. We as humans are not much different to cars in the retrospect of fuel. We crave fuel like air, food, and we crave emotional fuel. So many times through our lives, we forget that we crave emotional fuel, and we need the right type of emotional fuel to function properly. When we start consuming emotional fuel that we think is good for us, but really isn't, we are like my buddy's van. We make it a few miles feeling good, and then we start to sputter. We start running slow, and we become sluggish, no longer running at our top peak performance. So many times in our life, this is self-inflicted. We cling to toxic situations and our toxic people who will drain our happiness tanks of the good fuel and fill us with the bad fuel. They hide in the shadows waiting to cling to someone who is happy, and they drain them of that happiness because they are miserable in their own lives. They have been so miserable for so long, and they have no clue how to cure themselves. All they know is how to be bitter and miserable. Why, you ask, do they befriend happy people? Because misery loves company and it hates happiness. So what happened to my buddy's van that was mistakenly filled with the wrong fuel? Well, it had to be removed from the road, the tanks had to be cleaned and then flushed, and then finally it was filled with the correct fuel. Yes, it was expensive, but as the saying goes, you say you can't afford to do it, and I say you can't afford not to do it. Like the van filled with the wrong fuel, Sometimes we have to pull ourselves off the road and place ourselves into the shop. We have to clean, flush, and refill our tanks with the right fuel. No one can tell you what your right fuel is, but you know what truly makes you happy and what truly fills your happiness tanks. You know what makes you happy and what can flush your happiness tanks of the toxins that are preventing you from running at your peak performance. You and only you know the way for you. I will close with this thought. My buddy is so paranoid about putting diesel fuel into his tanks that he won't even stop at a gas pump that has both diesel and gasoline on the same pump. It cost him time and sometimes money fueling up at another station due to this, but he isn't willing to take the chance. Though it may cost you at the time, it will pay off in the long run. Alright guys, I hope you like that little happiness blog there that I wrote several years ago. As we're going forward with Dead Man Tees, wasn't able to record this morning or on lunch, even on the drive home. Had to push everything until tonight when I was closing up the day. Sometimes that's the way it goes. I'm happy to be busy with Dead Man Tees and TC Printing. We're rolling, we're growing. Project 7 is rolling. It's been a long day. I'm ready to get some sleep, get some rest so I can do it again tomorrow. What a difference an hour makes, what a difference a day makes, what a difference a minute makes, and especially what a difference a year makes. We're on a year journey here. There's different things starting and different things stopping. It's not just a continual year journey. There's things that's been in play for a couple months already that are a couple months old. There's things that we're starting today and tomorrow that are just days old, and that's the way it goes sometimes when you're building an empire. I'm tired. I'm sure you guys can hear it in my voice. I think I'm gonna get off here and try to do some rest, get some rest, and then we'll do it again tomorrow. So guys, don't just tomorrow is a new day. New minutes coming to us here shortly. It's almost midnight. So don't just have a great day. Go out, make a great day. Let's make this happen. See you guys later.